It's a little erotic, bro. Like, if we're both in these, at what point do we go from being brothers to lovers?
So, they've got a TV show now, and not just any old TV show, a HBO show. You know, the company that made stuff like Game of Thrones and The Sopranos and a massive amount of other insanely good shows. Like, their CV is stacked. And now they've added Paul American to it. Hell yeah, a reality show about the Paul brothers. Who is this for? Well, I know most reality shows like this are kind of looked down upon by the academic elites like myself who got 2 Bs and 7 Cs in their GCSEs. But there is, you know, somehow an audience for them. And I'm not talking about, you know, the good, highbrow, intellectual shit like The Apprentice or Selling Sunset. Shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and over here stuff like The Only Way is Essex and Geordie Shore. They're absolute shit, but there is undoubtedly an audience for them since they've ran for so long. And I guess this is similar, but it still makes me wonder, who is this for? Why are Max, formerly HBO, funding this and putting it out on their platform? There's just something about a reality show following the Paul brothers that seems so off-putting to me. Like, the idea of watching a reality show about the Paul brothers is repugnant. But anyway, a couple of trailers have dropped for this, and maybe they can give us a better idea of what this show is going to be about. First, we have the teaser, which is supposed to tease us and leave us wanting more. Somehow, I get the feeling it isn't going to do that.
I don't give a f***. Be mad at me. I'm uncancelable.
And that's the first 3-second look we get at this show. Jake Paul informing us that he is uncancelable, which is a phrase that is never said by anyone remotely likable.
Hey, yo, Mac, ladies and gentlemen.
Jake and I know how to create a viral media that the internet feeds on.
I mean, he's not wrong, but I think the thing is, I don't believe that this sort of, philosophy, if you want to call it that, will translate well into TV, especially something like HBO Max. Putting this on HBO Max feels like putting the Saw movies onto Cocomelon. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. What people that are paying to watch stuff like Succession and The Wire are then going, oh, you know what, I got a bit of time, smack that Paul Brothers reality show and let's have a look at that. I just don't think it's going to happen. I also don't think it's going to be all that interesting. This is 1 season and then cancelled, written all over it.
5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go.
Oh, I can't imagine having Jake Paul as an uncle.
Kids love weirdos.
Is he pissing outside his own house? So I guess he's just a weirdo who loves the smell of human piss when he steps outside. That's our Jake. That's our Jake Paul. We know and love. I love Jake Paul. I like when he does the boxing.
Logan can one-up me. Go f*** yourself.
That's another thing. This is just going to be full of some of the most staged arguments ever. Like, this is the Paul brothers we're talking about here. We know all about their tricks and their schemes. We ain't buying any of this fake conflict shit. We saw the diss tracks like 6 or 7 years ago. We know not to trust them. Like, I just don't understand who's going to be watching this show. Like, who is this made for? Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, this would have been semi-interesting because they were quite a new thing and they were very popular. But most of their life is already broadcast online. I know way too much about these two people, and I don't even take an active effort to keep up with them. From what I can tell, this is basically just seeing it again, but with better cameras and behind a paywall. I guess it will give you a deeper look into their personal lives if that floats your boat, but I don't really know who would care. Anybody that is even remotely on this side of the internet is already massively overexposed to the Pauls. I feel like I've watched this already. I don't need to see Jake Paul talk about fighting Mike Tyson again. None of us do. But anyway, that was just a few bits of the teaser trailer. I'd say we have been successfully edged, and now it's time to watch the full trailer.
Yeah, this is America. Yeah. The currency isn't being liked. The currency is attention.
To be fair, I respect it. He's just acknowledging he's not going for doing anything of value. He just wants attention. Logan Paul's business plan is exactly the same as Bevo's. Like, it's exactly the same, except his budget is like $1 million instead of a Nando's meal.
Wrong with you? Cancel culture can suck my ass all day long. Go fuck yourself.
If you really don't care about cancel culture, why are you not giving it so much attention? It clearly very much gets to you. If that sort of thing actually doesn't matter to you and you don't really care what people online have to say, you just wouldn't mention it.
For all the women out there that say, oh, you're toxic, kiss my toxic ass.
All right, Greg.
The internet could be so mean. Did you drop your kids on their head? Greg should have pulled out.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen way worse directed towards them. I've had way worse directed towards me. Those are like my nice comments.
Jake texted me, "You are truly a gaslighting, delusional, ego-driven narcissist.
You don't even have a single fucking friend, bro.
Go fuck yourself.
I think even if you don't know who the Pauls are, this will read as fake simply because it's reality TV. Except with conflict in shows like Selling Sunset, where you can tell it's mostly staged, there's something about it that's slightly entertaining. This, I mean, I don't know. I personally just don't care. I think for a reality show to work, you need to have people that are likable and people that are unlikable. But here, you just have two quite unlikable people arguing with each other. I don't want either of them to win whatever argument they're having.
This baby opened up a gentle side of the Pauls.
Oh, it's smelly.
Logan Paul letting a camera crew watch him and his brother change his baby gives me the same vibes as, you know, that video where he went to the birth of his child to promote Lunchly.
And of course, we have our snacks and our energy drink. None other than the greatest meals in the world. Lunchly, of course, we have the turkey, cheese, and cracker stack. Also the Fiesta Nachos, my personal favorite.
Like, come on, guys. I know attention is your currency. You don't really care. But surely some situations don't require a camera crew or a promotional read for Lunchly. I think that is just one of the things that is so off-putting to me about the Pauls. The fact they're just basically walking billboards. Like, when have you seen a video of Logan Paul walking around in public in the last 12 months where he's not either carrying a Prime or a Lunchly? Like, whenever I see a bit of content surrounding the Pauls, it just feels like I'm watching an ad. And that's because a lot of the time, I basically am.
I just have one thing to say. To my whole family, shut the fuck up. We got a show to make. And
well, aren't we all excited? Now that I've watched both of these trailers, that was honestly more than enough. I really don't want to watch any more. I feel as though I've taken away everything I get from actually watching the show by watching these two trailers. I get it that Logan Paul is in the WWE and Jake Paul is a boxer and they argue and stuff and they do loads of stuff for attention and like Logan has a baby. Like, I feel as though that is pretty much the show. I don't know, I could be proven wrong when the whole thing comes out, but I feel as though I've just watched the show by watching these two trailers. I say all this, I will still be watching. It will likely only be me and about 10 other channels like mine watching, because that is the only audience I can imagine for this. Like, do you guys remember the Hype House show from about, like, what was it, like 3-4 years ago? I did a video about it and I honestly can't remember what that was about, but I feel as though it was a similar sort of thing to this. All right, let's watch the trailer and see if we can draw any parallels.
We have 10, 20-year-olds living in a $5 million house together, filming content all day.
That's awesome. That sounds awesome. I would love nothing more than to sit down and watch 20-year-olds making TikTok content in a $5 million house. That sounds awesome. And I did do that because I made a video on it.
Hype House is like a social media collective that is also kind of like an incubator. People saw the hype.
I love how the introductions are just like, it's just them doing TikTok dances. That was such a weird era. Is this stuff still going on where it's like hype housey type stuff where it's like shirtless guys just dancing and like, is this still a thing? I feel as though this has very much died off. But then again, maybe I'm just very much not on that side of the internet.
Social media's been a roller coaster.
Are you in a relationship?
I've been on my single boy shit.
Awesome. That's it. To be fair, this does seem way worse than the Paul show. This seems so much more terrible and uninteresting. Like, this looks like I can't even remember what happened in any of the episodes, which, I mean, it was only 3 years ago. So I think that just shows how bad and forgettable the show was. And, you know, the Hype House show, it sucked and it flopped, but I feel as though it had a more clearly defined audience that they were targeting than this does. The Hype House show was for young Gen Z who loved TikTok dances and shit. Like, there were people that watched it and would enjoy it. And I feel as though that's why this would have worked so much better, like, 5 or 6 years ago, because this is now clearly for an older audience, but adults don't really tend to care about the Paul brothers all that much. And you know what? I could very well end up being wrong here. This could be the greatest TV spectacle ever. Like and subscribe.